Hi, welcome to God Talk Posts, a weblog dedicated to honest conversation about God. My name is Robert Clark. I'm a pastor in the United Methodist Church, currently serving as senior pastor at Trinity United Methodist Church in San Antonio, Texas. I am married to a wonderful woman, Donna. Between us, we have 3 children and now 5 grandchildren. My goal in starting this blog is to engage in an honest conversation about God. In my day-to-day work, I meet a lot of people who want to talk about religion, and yet I have very few conversations about God. Now, I'm hoping that together we can engage in a conversation that transcends the sectarian barriers erected by religion and instead focus on the God at whom religion aims. Now, let me begin by being perfectly honest. I am eminently underqualified to carry on a conversation about God. I have a bachelor's degree in Christian ministry from Wayland Baptist University. I've completed a 5-year course of study through Perkins School of Theology in Dallas, Texas. And I'm currently working on a Master of Divinity degree from United Theological Seminary in Dayton, Ohio. In addition, I have about 12 years of experience preaching and being a pastor. And now, as odd as it may seem, none of this qualifies me to talk about God. When it comes to God talk, there really are no experts. So who I am really doesn't matter. And therefore, enough about me. Let's talk about God for a while. So where to begin? It seems to me that in order to have an honest conversation about God, we will do well to first ask who or what we mean when we say God. How we understand God is at least partially conditioned by how the tribe to which we belong talks about God. Every tribe, Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, in all their various manifestations, tell stories about God. Now, in many ways, these stories are similar to one another, and yet there are also some very fundamental differences. What I want to be clear about from the beginning is that my God talk is not without bias. I am a Christian. To be even more precise, I am a United Methodist Christian. Therefore, I have a peculiar understanding about God that has been informed by the stories told by United Methodist Christians. I do not say this by way of apology, but simply to inform. I own that few, if any, of the things that I say about God are universally held truths. Other stories describe God differently than the story by which I am being formed. I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with the fact that my story is not the universal story. I'm not out to prove that my God story is superior to any other person or tribe's story. Now, having said as much, I'm prepared, I think, to say something about God. And the first thing I want to say about God is that God is a who as opposed to a what. By this I mean that God is a personal being. John Goldingay points out that the story told about God in the Old Testament portrays a God who establishes long-term objectives and immediate plans, makes decisions, and implements them. Is a God who enjoys successes and sometimes experiences frustration, has changes of mind, and formulates revised plans for reaching ultimate goals. This is a different sort of God than the one that is sometimes described as being like a watchmaker who, upon completing the watch, winds it up and then withdraws to allow it to just wind down on its own. The God of the Old Testament is a God who is actively involved in a personal relationship with creation. Now that God is capable of maintaining a personal relationship, that God has agency, the ability to make decisions and to take action, points to the fact that God is a God who is other than an impersonal force. God exhibits personhood inasmuch as God is a relational being. Now, the understanding of God as person is fundamental to everything that I believe and to everything that I may eventually say about God.